This is a big part of to be in this business, okay? To be in wine business is very important, this thing, to have this kind of relation.
The human connection.
Yeah, human connection, true. Because otherwise it's just business. It doesn't make sense. You can sell a car, you can sell everything else. But wine is a different thing.
This is Harman Skurnik, and welcome to another episode of Skurnik Unfiltered. Today I have with me Mark Fornatale, who is the Italian Portfolio Director for Skurnik Wines and Spirits. And Mark has been with us for over 20 years.
21 years this year, yeah.
That's amazing. He's part of the family. We have with us today a very, very special guest that you interviewed not too long ago, Giorgio Rivetti, who is the proprietor of La Spinetta and many other estates.
Casanova della Spinetta, Contratto, and then he has his own import company here in the USA called Indigenous Selections, and he imports Ciacci Piccolomini and Chiara Boschis, to name just a few.
Amazing. And I recall meeting Giorgio for the very first time, which is before you worked for the company. We've been importing his wines since the early 90s. And when we visited him for the very first time, he made Moscato d'Asti. And I remember tasting his very first red wine that he ever produced.
That would have been Cadapien or Pin.
Pin.
It was Pin. Okay.
It was a nickname for his
father.
Father
Yeah,
or
Giuseppe, which they call Giuseppino, becomes just Pin.
And he was not known for his red wines. That was the first. And so, but he was one of the Barolo boys. And so he hung out with all, Clerico and Sandrone and Altari. And to predict where he would go from there to where he is now, nobody could have predicted.
No, just an incredible meteoric rise from that of small Moscato producer. You remember tasting his first red wine to now impresario of Italian wine with these three important Italian estates in Italy, and then the import company as well. It's been a long and beautiful friendship that also happens to be business. We love his wines and we love the man, and that sort of combination provides a synergy that can't be replaced. It's not just business. It's these wonderful wines that he makes with his own hands.
Didn't you once say that you got introduced to Skurnik through Giorgio's wines?
Yeah, I remember coming to a tasting at Tribeca Grill in probably 2001 or 2002, and he was the first table immediately on the left as I walked in, and I was just so excited to see the lineup, because at that time, he would have been 97 Barbaresco, 98 Barbarescos would have been on the table. It was very difficult to get them, even at a prestige shop like Morel, where I was working at the time. So I think Giorgio was sort of my introduction to Skurnik, and that was, lo and behold, 24 years ago or something like that.
Well, with that, let's listen in to Mark's conversation with the one and only Giorgio Rivetti.
Enjoy his Italianness coming through the podcast.
Enjoy.
Cheers.
Mark, sorry.
That's the way to start.
No.
We're here today with Giorgio Rivetti of La Spinetta and Contratto and Casanova della Spinetta, and of course his own import company, Indigenous Selections, based here in the United States. What have you got for us today, George?
Yeah, I put something very good for you.
Cheers.
We start with this, okay?
Thank you.
Contratto, the oldest sparkling wine producer in Metro Classico from Italy. We talk about 1867. They built the cellar. They started to do a very good job. In 2010, we decided to buy this property, Contratto property, and the cellar is part of UNESCO World Heritage. The cellar is a monument.
It's like a cathedral. I've been to cellars in Rem, but
the title is Underground Cathedral. Yeah. It's true. And when they offered to me this property, I said, I cannot pass this because I love champagne. And my idea was to do something very close to champagne with champagne varietal. When we bought Contratto, we used to buy the fruit and the wine from Orto Papavese. My idea is to plant new vineyards and to make all the fruit in Piedmont, Alta Langa.
Make a Piedmonte. I mean, the cellars are in Canale. The cellars are in Piedmont.
Yeah.
The wine should be from Piedmont.
Perfect.
Is what you were
Alta
thinking.
Langa is fantastic appellation because we talk about very high elevation vineyard. We talk about something different. And also by law, Alta Langa means, okay, you have to make Alta Langa with 2 varietals, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. And up there where we plant the vineyard, we talk about 2,200 feet high elevation vineyard, you can work with Pinot Noir. And Pinot Noir is one of the most important variety for me for method classical sparkling wine production. And now we have 80% Pinot Noir and 20% Chardonnay there.
The first thing I noticed about the wine was the color, because it is, it's almost
rosé.
The Italians would say occhio di pernice, right? The eye of the partridge. This is very, very delicate, almost rosé, and that's because it's 80% Pinot Noir
because also
not manipulated.
Yeah,
right?
Bravo. Because we do everything organic in the vineyard, and the end the color it's Pinot Noir. Okay, some vintage is the color is more intense, some vintage is less intense, but I don't care about that. It's really important for people to understand the point. The point is the quality of the wine. Okay.
And it's 30 months on the
we have do
right?
this is 30 months. This is from younger wines,
Yeah.
This is the millesimato. And then we have some other production. We talk about Blanc de Blanc, we talk about Blanc de Noir, we talk about the Rosé or special cuvée. We are keeping on the list 10 years. Okay, no problem. Yeah.
And the strong point that I love to talk about is that they really are handmade, and you can tell when you look at the bottom of the bottle, because there's the Riddler's mark. So
everything's traditional there.
All these bottles are riddled by hand in the cellar until they're.
It's not easy to find some other wineries doing this. Okay, mostly they use Giro pallets, no?
The Giro palette, like they automatic.
Yeah, automatically they move that.
The machines that
it take 18 days for us to do this kind of thing, to move, and then after that we can dispose.
I can't remember the name of the
Mauro.
Mauro. The
Mauro is my Giro palette.
The marvelous Mauro.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, and contract is unbelievable. I love that. It was big thing for me because we bought the property and then we planted all the vineyards. But now we are very happy because there's room now between simple prosecco or champagne. This good room, good space for great sparkling wine, especially for the young generation. Because the old generation, they think about champagne. It could be terrible quality champagne, but there's champagne
on the label.
It still says
champagne on the label, yeah.
But now people, they think about the quality, no?
So let's talk again a little bit about the Alta Langa, the high hills of Langhe.
But the good thing about the elevation is this thing, okay, we harvesting the fruit in the middle of September. Normally in Italy, when they produce a sparkling wine with a glass, they harvest the fruit in the end of July, on the beginning of August. It's a completely different thing. The complexity is not there. Complexity is here because the elevation. I used to go to ski there. 30 years ago, I was skiing up there, and now we are making wine.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. This is why I think we have some problem. Global warming is there.
Yeah.
It's not something we can
avoid. That's something to talk about. I think, how have you seen global warming affect?
Okay, I want to be honest with you guys. Okay, this thing. Okay, in Piedmont, in one hand, it's better now than before, because before, maybe talk about 20 years ago, it was easy to have great vintage until middle of September, and then it was raining a lot of rain, and it was destroying all the quality from the vineyard, like especially for Nebbiolo. Okay, right now we can manage that. Okay, because in September, October, it's always we don't have a lot of rain, and we can manage the harvest. And of course, if you go down to Tuscany, to Puglia, to Sicily, it's very tough.
It's harder.
It's harder.
But I mean, if we talk about historically, there were 3 great vintages from Piedmont in a decade, and then the 1990s happened.
This is a good question, but think about that. It's not just about global warming. It's about also what the producer they change.
That's true.
The farming,
and a lot has changed farming.
Oof. The big changing, it was maybe I think about 90s, end of 90s and the beginning of 2000.
A lot of people like to say what changed was the size of the barrels.
No, it's not true.
The wine. I mean, they think that that's the most important thing to talk about when they're
most
talking about.
Most of the changes was in the vineyard. Okay, the producers start to do different job in the vineyard, farming different way. First of all, they start to use a pesticide, herbicide. They start to control the quality from April until the end of the harvest. Okay, when it was too hot, they cut a lot of fruit to get maybe less than 1 kilo of fruit per vines. They start to work in different way in the vineyard, and they reduce the production. Before, the full production was 8,000 bottles per hectare of Barolo, And now a good producer, they do 3,000 bottles per hectare. This is the big change. This is why now in 1 decade you have maybe 7 or 8 beautiful vintages. And the past it was maybe 2 or 3.
Can we talk about organic farming?
Oh, we can talk about that without any problem. Not a problem, because my father used to work in the vineyard in that way 50 years ago. Okay, for us it was nothing. It was easy for us to switch, no, to change. Okay, to put the organic farming in the label, because okay, we are doing this since 50 years. No problem. Okay, I think it's very important that it's so important that, because I think it's very important for the producer to be able to work in this direction. Okay, because the environment is so important. It's the future for our children, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have 3 children that.
Yeah, I have 3 children. One is now one is like your age. Okay, it's 46. When he was 6 years old, my son, he was always with me in the cellar. 6 years old, can you imagine? 2 hours, 3 hours of time, he was with me in the cellar. It was his dream to make wine, to do something like that, like he's doing now.
Yeah.
Now he's the boss of the cellar, actually. Okay? I'm providing for him the best good fruit, and then we taste together.
And now you spend more time outside. You spend a lot of time in the vineyards.
Yeah, I like to walk in the vineyard every day, to see what's going on, to be part of this kind of the most important thing. Okay?
Yeah, that's where the wine comes from.
Farmer,
you always say
I
it's
think
made in the wine is made in the vineyard.
Perfect. This is the thing. Okay, I think a lot of producers, they took step back. Okay, go back to the real thing. Okay, to the vineyard, and then after that is easy, because we know 90% is from the vineyard. The quality of the wine is from the vineyard, and 10% from the cellar. It's very important for us, because which is the most important thing? Vineyard. Okay, spend time there. Yeah, and thank God in Piedmont, 99% of the producers are still farmers. Okay. It's special region, because you talk about something other region, the best that are for bank or insurance, like Bordeaux. Okay, Piedmont, they are farmer. You can see the farmers working the vineyards, is making the wine, send the wine.
It's a region of a lot of small businesses together, and not
like
so
Burgundy.
much. Yeah,
can you say Burgundy? Well, more or less, it's like Burgundy. Yeah, the great producers think about to work in the vineyard in this way to make beautiful fruit, and then after that, it's just interpretation, no? Yeah, you like to make wine this way, but at the end of the day, the wines are fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And now we are going to taste Barolo
Garetti.
Coretti. Yeah,
First vintage 2006.
2006. Yeah, because I think the dream of any Piedmont producer, Langhe producer, is to work with Nebbiolo grapes, okay, and to do a good job with Barbaresco and Barolo, because from Nebbiolo grapes. And this was my dream too, no? And then we did Moscato, we did Barbera, Cadipian, and then with the Barbarescos, 3 Barbarescos, and then my goal was to buy a great Barolo single vineyard, and we got this great opportunity in 2000. Beautiful, unbelievable single vineyard Barolo, and big pieces of land, not just 1 hectare or 5,000 square meters. We took about 8 hectares. Beautiful. Vines are so old. That's why I decided to buy this property. And it was, in the beginning, it was not easy, because, Giorgio Rivetti is buying Barolo, vineyard, but no. And then we did fantastic. The first vintage was great, because it was 2000 vintage. And
I remember.
that?
And I remember the cover of the Wine Spectator.
Yeah, the scores. It was easy. It was easy.
Yeah, it was a different time, right?
We bought this property in 2000, but in the beginning we started to make Barolo. Campo Vigna is beautiful vineyard, it's very big vineyard, but we start from the lower part of the vineyard is under 90 meter high elevation, and then we go up very steep to 200, 210, 250. Okay, the vines are the same age. The vines are 70 years old. I decided to do something to pick the fruit from the lower part of the vineyard, to make Garetti, more approachable wine. Also, the bottle shape is different. And then we are still harvesting the fruit from the middle part and the highest part of the vineyard for Barolo Campaign. Yeah. The previous owner was one big producer, Giordano, good friend of mine. He was a big producer because he was producing huge amount per hectare. No? When we bought the property, we started to do a green harvest. We cut maybe 75% of the production in June, July. Okay.
Wow.
The green.
Because you purchased midway through through the season
we
in
purchased
2000.
it in May.
Okay.
In May. Okay. And 2000 was great vintage. We were lucky at that time, because 2000 for wine spectator was 100 point vintage. 100-point vintage. This wine, the 2000 Barolo Campé, got maybe 90.99. I remember that. It was quite easy for us to introduce this brand in the market. Yeah.
No, I remember thinking, oh, Giorgio's got a new wine
Bro,
and it's going to be expensive. But the wine hit the market and it was part of this 2000 vintage campaign that was extraordinarily successful. I mean, I think a lot of people started picking up bottles of Barolo.
But that was a good thing for Wine Spectator, because Wine Spectator said, okay, Barolo could be something you can really enjoy. And 2000, it was perfect vintage.
It was a good vintage to enjoy.
It was
absolutely.
Great vintage to enjoy from the beginning.
Yeah.
People, maybe they were buying Bordeaux, they were buying Burgundy, they were buying something other wines, and they start to buy Barolo because that.
Yeah.
And they realized 2000 was beautiful vintage. They like Barolo, Barbaresco, and then now they continue to buy.
Of those vintages, I don't know, 1996 to that string to 2001, let's say, what was your favorite? What was your favorite vintage of?
Okay, right now, if I taste 1996, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also had 2000 Barolo just a couple of weeks ago. It's still beautiful. The vintage is very important, but it's more important what the producer is doing in the vineyard. Because if you want to see if his producer is great, try some wine from not very good vintage. If the wine is great, it means the producer is not just the producer, it's a great farmer. He's able to manage it, the vineyard in different situations. No? It's not just one making wine. No, it's making wine, but he knows what he has to do.
What he's doing. Yeah.
This is the most important thing. And it was a great thing, this Barolo. I like it very much, what we are doing. A Barolo Campé or Garetti, they have this good thing. They are very approachable. They have beautiful nose. They taste, in the beginning, they taste like La Morra, but in the end, they have the power, the shoulder, like Monfort.
Yeah, no, the perfumes are very captivating, and they jump right out of the glass, and then the wine itself has a richness and lushness to it that makes it that really invites you to drink it.
And the aging very well. We still have some 2004, because since 2003 I decided to keep on the size 25% of the production with Barolo Campé, Gallina, Stardere, and Bayerano Barbarescos in the size, and now we can sell 4 or 5 or 6, but now we are sold out.
I think that's really one of the sharpest things that any producer can do is set aside wine, because everybody's always asking us for older wines and library releases and that sort of thing.
Now I'll tell you the story, yeah? Why I decided to do that. Because before it was easy for me to come to New York. I went to eat so many great restaurants, and they used to buy 3 cases of this because they used to store it there. And they used to keep it in the cellar for maybe 3-4 years and to sell after. But the inventory is killing the business of the restaurant, of the importer, or of the distributor. Nobody was doing that. I decided, why not? Somebody has to do that. I decided to do this, and now it's perfect.
No, it's a great idea, and
it was a huge investment, huge investment. But somebody has to do that. Because otherwise, you're selling Barolo 21 now. Okay, people, they can drink. The production is very small. They can drink in 1 year. You don't have any testimonial.
It was very important also to have the ammunition for those people who said, "Oh, these new wines won't last." Okay, here's 1998 Stardere.
Oh my God!
Tell me if it lasted or not. Yes, it did.
Yeah, and now they're showing fantastic. We did tasting here, but it was last year, 2 years ago, with the Altare.
Yes, yeah. When we did the older vintages.
Yeah,
the Barolo. Yeah.
People that were so impressed. Okay, they tasted me. I don't know.
And it was you and Altare and Chiara.
And they were fantastic. Okay, they were fantastic. No, it's something you have to do that, because the memory is very short. People, they think, okay, this Barolo is good now, but you cannot keep it.
I think that too many people let themselves be guided by other people's voices. Instead, really, let's open a bottle and taste the glass.
True.
That's the important thing.
Like we did this morning with the Toscan wine, no?
Yeah.
Bruce said, okay, oh my God, this shows 2008, it was, no? 8?
Yes, 2008.
It was showing fantastic, so young. The first thing he said, like, this is showing so young.
That's another story, right? I mean, your Tuscan project is an enormous success, and I'm sure people see out there Vermentino and Rosé and Il Nero, but what probably a lot of people don't know about is that you make the single vineyard Sessantino and Sezzana 100% Sangiovese, and you don't release them until 10 years after the harvest at the earliest. I think it's really interesting because it gives you the opportunity to show because you're not in Castellina
Yeah,
in Chianti
yeah,
or
or the Greve or
Rada
something,
or
yeah.
Montalcino,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
You're
yeah.
between Pisa and Volterra. Gives you the opportunity to show that, hey, these are my wines. They're 100% Sangiovese without Merlot or Cabernet or anything. And here's how they age, and to taste the wines with 10 plus years and see
That's
the
what I
freshness.
thought at the beginning when I decided to do that. It's the only way for me to build the brand and the value of this era, no? To show something is 10, 15 years old, but 100% Sangiovese. Wow, it's great, no? And a lot of time we're comparing. We are buying Brunello, the same vintage, and really, it's perfect. Okay, there's no competition. It means great. The old boards are great, different way, but the boards are great. It means that's the only way for me to be able to build the brand of this winery. Yeah.
No, it's important. It's important. I
Yeah.
think that and the library releases really help to give identity to the brand.
But right now, I think a lot of producers they pay more attention about Sangiovese, 100% Sangiovese.
I think so. I think Chianti
Yeah.
Classico is definitely having a moment
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
More producers making very good
And
wine.
right now, if you can say, okay, my Chianti Classico is made with 100% Sangiovese, is a plus.
Totally.
In the past, it was minus. Now it's plus. Can I say something about Timorasso?
Yes, of course.
He's not here. Okay?
No, we didn't bring in the bottle, but that's another important project for you, and
it's fantastic.
I'd love to talk
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, like I said before, okay, in Italy we have a lot of beautiful varietals for red wine production, okay? But about white wine, we don't have a lot. Maybe, I think the 5 great varietals.
Are you going to name them again?
Okay.
I'll start with Garganega. You like to go from south to north, so they throw in Caricante, Fiano, Verdicchio,
Vermentino,
yeah,
and some, I said the one in Umbria. Correct? No?
Gracchetto.
Gracchetto is good too. Arnese is good.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. But Timorasso is one of the best. I think it's one of the top one. Sorry. Not because I make Timorasso, because it's true, because he has everything, this wine. He has everything. He has the complexity. It's very approachable wine in the beginning, and it can age very well, no problem.
I think your intention, your goal with Timorasso to make let's say a contained wine, a wine that wasn't more than 13% alcohol, a wine that was very approachable and drinkable and perfumed, wasn't always the style of Timorasso. So I think what you did there was very important. You started in 2019.
19 was the first vintage, yeah. Because we bought the vineyard already planted, okay? The vines in that time, they were 15 years old. If you want to build the brand of Timorasso in the world, you have to make wine. It's taking you immediately where it's from, a sense of place, but also something more approachable, something you can enjoy, like by the glass. Okay, it's not 15% alcohol, not 16% alcohol. It's something you can enjoy by the glass. You know exactly the potential of this wine. If you are just somebody who want to have a glass of wine, white wine, you enjoy. You are somebody a white wine freak, you can enjoy too, because you know exactly what's going on in this wine. But this wine will be in 5-6 years.
I love it when the glass gives something both for the hedonist and also for the heads.
Bravo.
So
perfect.
Real true wine connoisseurs can enjoy it and appreciate it for its layers and complexity, and the hedonists can just enjoy it because it's delicious.
And when I tasted the Timorasso from so many producers. They are doing a beautiful job. But for me, I said, okay, maybe we can do something better. Not better, something different, okay? To make this wine more approachable, but with some sense of place. People, they can taste, I like this wine, I like this, but that's white wine. But if they want to keep in the cellar for 10, 15, 20 years, it's no problem at all.
But a few producers had broken through and maybe opened the doors to the connoisseurs and the sommelier. A lot of the sommeliers knew Timorasso, knew it as a rare white wine variety from Piedmont that could occasionally make important wines. And so then, we jumped in there and we showed them your interpretation of Timorasso. And
I remember when we started, along with the under cases.
Something small. I
Really?
need more.
Really. And now I'm very happy about this product. Not just because we are selling very easy, but because I think we can build the brand of this era in the world. Wine world. Yeah. Now people talk about Timorasso era, but it's 50 years behind than Barolo Barbaresco. I think
Which
it's very
might be a
important to be.
fortune right now, right? Because they're talking about over tourism in Langhe and
Yeah.
all the problems with now. I remember my first trip to Langhe in 2001. It's very different now,
completely.
but there's still that Piedmont magic in the smaller towns outside of the beaten path.
I'm happy because there's a lot of great Barolo Barbaresco producers. They invested there. Okay.
Yeah.
And now they're able to sell this Timorasso everywhere, in different markets. Okay. It's good for them. It's good for the indigenous producer too. They understood that they are very smart there. They are small. They are farmers. They are very smart. They knew in the beginning, and they know exactly right now what it means to have La Spinetta, Vietti, or Borgogno, or Roagna. They are selling Timorasso in the world.
It's like a stamp of approval.
Bravo. Stamp of
It's a
approval.
seal of guarantee.
Yeah.
Maybe when I got on SIA. Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
Oh my God. Thank you, Giorgio.
We are together since a long time.
Oh my God. 20 plus years
Yeah.
of friendship and a lot of
Yeah.
wines drunk and sold, a
Yeah.
lot of great meals. Yeah.
Yeah. Long time. Yeah. Because I started to work with the Skurnik family. Maybe it was end of 90s. No, 80s.
80s. I think 1980s.
85. Okay, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And yet at the time you were just producing Moscato.
Moscato and a little bit of Barbera. Yeah.
And Barbera started in the early 80s, right?
Yeah, 82. Yeah. And it was fantastic because it was not easy for a small producer from Piedmont to get attention, from somebody from New York. Somebody was very strong. He had this good idea to import great Italian products like Barbaresco, Barolo, and Moscato. Moscato was the last one in the list, no? But okay, we started that, and it was great, and the collaboration was great. And the time is still fantastic right now. Talk about a long time ago, huh? Yeah,
That's amazing to me to think how long that Skurnik and La Spinetta have been partners, and to think of the growth of the two companies together, whether it was expanding into Ohio with Skurnik Wines Vintner Select or expanding into California with Skurnik Wines West. You've been growing as well from Moscato producer to Barbera producer. 1995, what happened?
Yeah. 95, we bought this property in Barbaresco, Gallina Vigna, one of the most important single vineyard for Barbaresco production.
1996.
And then at 6, start there, 97, by around. I think, okay, it's very important for us for this kind of collaboration because when Michael asked me, okay, if I want to enjoy this kind of business together in California, I said yes.
Immediately, I think you were one of the very first producers who jumped on board with us in California.
I believe in Mark too, okay, because Mark, we are friends since long time. Okay, we are good relational. Fantastic. But I really believe in somebody is trying to push and to sell great Italian products. It could be wine, it could be cheese, it could be sausage, it could be something, but great Italian products. And the Skurnik is one of the best. Okay, the reputation is this one. Skurnik is one of the best.
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from one of the best producers in Italy.
Really,
that warms my heart.
This is why I'm still with you guys, because we are working with the same philosophy, the same idea, no? The same goal.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a big part of to be in this business, okay? To be in my business is very important, this thing, to have this kind of relation.
The human connection.
Yeah, human connection, true. Because otherwise it's just business. It doesn't make sense.
No, for me, the biggest kick I get out of my job is being able to show my passion for the wines that you make, or that Chiara makes, or that Ciacci Piccolomini makes.
Because we have this kind of we are on the same page. Okay, we are sharing the same passion. It's true. It's very important. It's also very important for us to have a partner like you. Okay, somebody is able to understand, to share this our passion. No?
Yeah.
Otherwise, to sell for sales, you can sell a car, you can sell everything else. But wine is a different thing. If you want,
but it's not just me. We've got the whole team.
Right? Yeah, of course. Of course.
We've got the Skurnik family. We've got Shadia, Charlotte, and Jake. And
we had this relation since a long time, like we said before at the beginning. Long time. My God. Cheers.
Cheers.
Viva. Cheers.
Skurnik Unfiltered is recorded at Skurnik Wines and Spirits headquarters in the Flatiron District of New York City, which is why you might hear some city noises as we go along, like horns honking. If you found the conversation interesting, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a review. You can stay up to date on our show and upcoming events by following Skurnik Wines on Instagram and visiting our website at skurnik.com.